Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Today we're going to be doing ranking things today. And what we're ranking is I'm ranking all of the box sets that have come out for Unmatched so far. This is the end of 2022, so anything pre-2023 I'm ranking in this video. I have all the boxes. There are 13 box sets so far for Unmatched. And if you don't know what Unmatched is, it's one of my all-time favorite games. This is a card game, a battling game, one player versus one, or you can do team up and do two versus two. And all of these box sets have different characters in them, and you can take characters from one box set and play against characters from another box set. And they're all interchangeable, which is really cool. One of my favorite things about Unmatched. But it's a card game, so you're playing cards in order to damage the other player, trying to take their health down to zeros. Also, each of these characters comes with a cool little miniature. Some of the best miniatures out there are from Unmatched, in my opinion. They just are really high quality in this game. I really like the miniatures in this, and that adds to the cool effect for this game for myself. So yeah, we're going to be ranking all of the box sets that have come out so far. Like I said, there's 13 of them. But it's kind of interesting trying to rank these against each other because not all boxes have the same amount of characters. We have character boxes with one character, two characters, three characters, and four characters now. And I kind of think the boxes that have four characters have a little bit of an advantage here. But, I tried to rank it how I thought of the box as a whole. So it's kind of interesting ranking these against each other. But let's just jump right into it, starting with my 13th favorite. And I'll say, even my least favorite box sets in Unmatched, I still like, because I like the game system as a whole. It's just I think those characters aren't as interesting or fun to play as. So yeah, let's just go to number 13. Number 13 is by far a lot of people consider this to be the worst set. This is the Buffy set. Buffy the Vampire Slayer set. It's got four characters in it, which is a shocker that that's the least favorite out of them. It has Buffy. It has Spike. It has Angel, and it has Willow as characters. And if you're a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, you might really like this box set. But for me, there are three characters that I really don't care about, being Spike and Willow and Angel. Don't really care about those characters too much. And then there's Buffy, who's a pretty strong character, pretty fun to play as. But considering there's four characters and only one of them I really like, that's why this fell down to my least favorite set. So yeah, four characters, three of them are kind of duds for myself. And when we play Unmatched as a group, for my particular group, nobody, and if we decide to pick characters instead of doing random, which we do random a lot, pretty much no one from this Buffy set ever gets picked if someone can choose a character, which kind of says something. Which I can't say that about any other set. There's other sets that there's someone in the other sets that someone wants to play as, but this one kind of doesn't really have that. So yeah, number 13 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer set. Going on to number 12. Number 12 is a single character set. And I have to admit, these single character sets have a big unfair, disadvantage for here because it's only one character. And this is Deadpool, the Marvel character Deadpool. And this is kind of a little weird character in this game. It's just like his character in the comics. He's breaking the third wall. He's really weird. He's got just some fun cards, and you're going to be laughing when you're playing this. But the thing is, you're going to be laughing that first couple times you play him. After you play him a couple times, it's like, okay, he's not as fun anymore, not as funny. But he's really fun to introduce new people who haven't seen that character before to this character, because they're just going to have a good time. But I think repeated play, it doesn't have as much draw to it after a couple different plays. So yeah, number 12 is Deadpool. Going to number 11. Number 11 is the other one character set, and I feel bad for these sets just because there's one character. But this is Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is a pretty powerful character in this game. And he's the Kung Fu master, and he's all about getting extra actions. If he gets on a roll, he can attack you 3-4 times, and he can wipe you out very fast in this game. Maybe faster than anybody else in this game. If he gets his right cards at the right time, he can just continuously attack you. And if you run out of defense cards, you are just out of luck. So number 11 is the Bruce Lee set. Going to number 10, we're going back. Those were the last, there's only 2 one-character sets, so they're kind of lower on the list. Number 10 is Dr. Sattler versus T-Rex. This is Jurassic Park theme game, just 2-character set. You got Dr. Sattler, and then you have the T-Rex, the giant T-Rex mini, which is always cool to see him on the board fighting other characters that are, a fourth of the size. That's pretty cool in this game and makes the set unique. Why this is lower on the list is because I feel like both of these characters kind of are predetermined how you're supposed to play them. I mean, they're very powerful characters, both of them are. But like Dr. Sattler's got these tokens that she's laying out, and then you use all those tokens to do one big powerful move, whether it's doing a damage or whether it's healing. And I feel like it's just, how she's going to play out. So that's why that's kind of lower. They are good characters, but I feel like I don't have as many interesting choices because I know how I'm supposed to play those particular decks. So yeah, number 10, Dr. Sattler versus T-Rex. Going to number 9, we're going into the Marvel Universe again. This is Hell's Kitchen. This is a 3-character set. This has Deadpool, it has Elektra, and it has Bullseye. Bullseye is just a ranged character. He can hit anyone from, I think it's 5 spaces away from him. You're not going to be looking at zones with Bullseye, just the spaces away. So he can hit from far away, which is really cool. And Daredevil and Elektra are 2 of the quirkiest characters in this game, I think, because both of them have kind of less cards in their decks, and they're going to be going through their decks fast. Daredevil gets more powerful as he has less cards in his deck, and Elektra actually will get killed off, and then she comes back as, I think it's the revived Elektra. I can't remember what she's called, but she gets more powerful in the revised version of herself. So she kind of gets killed right away, and then she comes back as a more powerful character, which I think those are 2 of the most quirky characters in all of this whole game. So yeah, number 9 was Hell's Kitchen. Going to number 8. Number 8 is the other Jurassic Park themed set in here. This is another 2-character set. This is InGen versus the Raptors. The Raptors, you get 3 Raptors, which is interesting because no other characters does this in the game, where you actually get 3 miniatures, and you're using those miniatures to kind of surround your prey and try and attack them. But InGen is Muldoon. He's the hunter, and he's got a team that's helping him, and he's laying out traps. And he's really fun to play as. He's one of my favorite characters. The Raptors, I think they're interesting, but I don't really like playing as them very much. Muldoon is one of my favorite characters, so Muldoon brings the set up a little bit for myself. They're cool characters, but I definitely prefer Muldoon in this one, or InGen, he's called. So yeah, number 8 was InGen versus the Raptors. Go to number 7. Number 7 is the newest release for this game. This is Houdini versus the Genie. And these characters are both going to be, that's magic themed, obviously. Houdini fake magic versus the Genie real magic. Houdini both of these characters actually are going to encourage you to go through your decks really fast, because Houdini encourages you to boost cards, boost either your attacks or your defense, or he encourages you to boost while you're maneuvering. And when you boost his maneuver, he can actually just teleport anywhere on the board, which is one of the cooler abilities, I think. The Genie is going to encourage you to discard cards in order to get more actions. So you're going to go through both of these decks really fast for these characters. And so you want to take out your opponent really fast for these. So it's just a little bit interesting. Houdini, I feel like, is more of a complex character. This is not a character I would advise people to play as a beginner character. The Genie, I feel like, is a beginner character. So yeah, Houdini versus the Genie is number 7. Going to number 6 is the Battle of Legends Volume 1. This is the original box set of characters. It's a 4-character set. You have Sinbad, you have Alice, you have Medusa, and you have King Arthur. There are 3 really good characters in here, in my opinion. And then you have King Arthur. King Arthur is considered by a lot of people one of the worst characters. I still think he's interesting, but I definitely like the other 3 better. Medusa is going to hit people automatically at range at the start of her turn. And Alice is just going to be big and small. She's one of the most frustrating characters to fight against, because when she's big, she's going to attack, get bonuses for her attack. When she's small, she gets bonuses for her defense. And it's really hard to penetrate her defense when she's small. It's just frustrating to play against. And Sinbad just gets more and more powerful as the game goes on, and he's really cool, really fun for myself to play as. So number 6 was Battle of Legends Volume 1, the original box for Unmatched. Going to number 5 is a 2-character set. This is Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf. This is a really weird combination of characters in here. Little Red Riding Hood and then Beowulf. Beowulf is this big, beefy fighter who's got these basically resources. I think they're Fury tokens. I can't quite remember what they're called. And he's going to be using those to do cool special abilities. And Little Red Riding Hood is a deck where you want to play your cards in a certain order. She's one of the hardest characters to play as, but if you get going with her and playing the cards in the correct order how you're supposed to, you get these little bonuses that are really massive, can be game-changing effects for her. So she's really, really cool. So yeah, number 5 was Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf. Going to number 4, we're going back to the Marvel Universe again. This is Redemption Row, another 3-character set. This is Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and Luke Cage. Moon Knight is up there. He might be my favorite character in the entire game. He's really interesting because each turn he's going to switch personalities, which is basically he gets a new character ability. And you're just going to be switching, and he's got 3 different characters that he's going to be continuously switching around with and using those characters' abilities. And so it's kind of timing which character you're going to be at what time, and you're trying to time it all right. So he makes for a lot of interesting choices for him. Ghost Rider, I would say, is a little bit close to Beowulf. He's got these tokens that he's using as sort of resources to do cool different things. And Luke Cage, I said Alice was frustrating to fight against. Luke Cage is extremely frustrating to fight against because he basically has an automatic defense of 2. When you play as Luke Cage, you feel powerful because you know it's going to be hard for other characters to hit you, to do any damage. He's just frustrating to play against, but fun to play as. Going to our third set. Our third set is a 2-character set. This is Robin Hood versus Bigfoot. This is the set that when people ask me where should they start with Unmatched, this is the set I always recommend to them for a couple of reasons. One, this is just a 2-character set, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper price point to get into the game. And 2, you can really see what Unmatched is with these 2 characters. Robin Hood is a ranged character, and he's got a bunch of little sidekicks, the 1 health sidekicks tokens. And Bigfoot is this big, fast character who is going to do a lot of damage, but melee. So you can see like the 2 different fighting styles with these characters, but they are very simple fighters in here. They're not going to be the most complex fighters in this game, but I think they're just great fighters. I really like them, and they're simple. They're fun to show new people Unmatched with. So number 3 was Robin Hood versus Bigfoot. Going to number 2, going back to a 4-character set. This is Cobble and Fog. I really like the theme of this set being you have Jekyll and Hyde, you have an Invisible Man, you have Dracula, and you have, who is the 4th character? It's Sherlock Holmes. I really like this set a lot, and because of the theme, it has a lot to do with this. The characters are really interesting. They're really distinct from each other. Each of them plays very differently. Sherlock Holmes is like just kind of guessing what the other player is going to do kind of thing, and looking at their cards. So I like all 4 of these characters in Cobble and Fog. None of them are like my favorite characters, but all of them are good characters that I wouldn't mind playing at all. So number 2 was Cobble and Fog. Going to number 1. Number 1 is Battle of Legends Volume 2. This is a 4-character set again, and all 4 of these characters I absolutely love. These 4 characters might all make it into my top probably 15, which is saying a lot. I think there's close to 40 fighters now. The fact that all 4 of these are some of my favorite fighters says a lot. You have Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. You have Yennefer, the Queen. You have Bloody Mary, and you have Achilles. And like in the other one, all 4 of them play different. This one, all 4 of these play very, very differently. They're 4 very interesting characters with interesting abilities, and just really fun to play as. And I love all of these characters in the Battle of Legends Volume 2. So that's why it is my number one favorite set out of all of the Unmatched sets that have come out so far. So that will do it for this ranking list. I'm really excited to see what Unmatched has in the future. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on what's your favorite Unmatched set. And if you want to check out more Unmatched videos, I have quite a few on this channel. I've got videos reviewing sets. I have videos ranking the characters from a while back. I should make a new video ranking the characters individually. Again, because so many characters have come out since I made that video. And I've got videos what I want Unmatched to do in the future, or certain sets that I want them to make. But I've got a lot of videos on Unmatched either way. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe to see more weekly content from me, Shane, at the board meeting in the future. Hope you all have an amazing day. Take care.